See. I'm Shannon Stoker with the CE, and we have Dr. Erica Wilcoxon and Samantha Orcutt. And I'll let you both introduce yourselves and tell what you do here for us at Tarleton.
I'm Dr. Wilcoxon. I'm our university registrar. This will mark 4 years now.
And hi, I'm Samantha Orcutt. I am our Canvas administrator, and I've been here for, 5 years.
We're all about the same. I've been here about five, almost five also. So we're going to talk today about something we think is really exciting, especially if you are the registrar here at Tarleton. Um, So if you've ever struggled putting your grades in at the end of the semester, not because you don't want to, just because trying to figure out how to get into Ducktrax and Banner and all those things, and then remembering to go back if you have a K student and things like that, we may have a solution for you. So I'm going to let Dr. Wilcoxon take it from here and kind of explain a little bit on the back side from her side in the registrar's office.
Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, perfect. Thank you
We
so
can.
much. Um, so I'm gonna also shamelessly plug just a reminder on end of term. So if you have 16-week or second 8-week grades or first 8-week and you haven't entered them yet, our deadline is fast approaching. So May 11th, which is a Monday at noon. So it's the first Monday after commencement for this spring. That is our deadline for grades. So traditionally, you've had to go through Ducktrax and go through that process. But I was able to work, gosh, I don't know that it was a year ago, but I think probably about a year ago, right before I went out on maternity leave, we had a conversation about how do we improve the faculty experience when it comes to submitting grades? And ultimately, that would improve the student experience, right? Student will know their academic standing, they'll know their status in terms of do they get president's list, dean's list? Can we mass award their degree? Can we send out their transcript now that they have final grades? And so everything around grade submission, it's a domino effect. Once we get grades for a student, we can relinquish all these different things for the student depending on what it is. And so it impacts the student experience. So I wanted to ask the question of how do we make this easier? How do we make this better? And Samantha had said, hey, we just acquired this part of the Canvas software where we can allow an instructor to create a grading schema and they can submit their grades from Canvas straight to Banner. So I don't know the technical pieces of that, but I wanted us to find a solution for you all. And I'd spoken to my AVP, Dr. Waddell, and she had explained, yeah, at a previous institution I was at, we had that ability. And when I came to Charleston, that was a little shocking. So I'm happy to share that we do have a pathway to give you all timeline and perspective. We worked with Tarleton Today. That was our first kind of pilot group, and it was wildly successful. In fact, the faculty members who also have a faculty appointment outside of Tarleton Today said as soon as they could be early adopters, they would be adopting this option. And I do want to leave with the caveat that we are not removing the Ducktrax option. So to give you a context to my background, I have an undergraduate degree in English literature. My English lit professors would not have wanted to use this piece for various reasons. And so I want to make sure it's heard clearly here that we would never be replacing your ability to just go into Ducktrax and add those grades. But what this is going to do is just add another option. So folks who are using their gradebook in Canvas, and if it is a straightforward streamlined process for them, then they would be allowed to import those grades from Canvas to Banner. But I don't know if we need to go any further in technical nuances, or Dr. Stoker, if you'll just lead into the demo. But Samantha, did I leave anything out that you feel like would be pertinent to share with this group?
No, I think that's it. It's, if we can go really into the technical piece if we want to, but I'm sure nobody cares and they just want it to work. And we're going to go ahead and show that it does.
I care for what it's worth, but yes, I think showing them will be even better. So, Dr. Stoker, did I leave anything out?
I don't think so. As we're going through it, though, if you see something that looks glitchy or could be an issue, just shout out as we are going through. Because this is new and we've tried it a couple times. We've had to clear it out to make sure it works for our demo. So we'll go ahead and do that for you. This is just a really uh, pretend course, fake course that we have here because get out some of this stuff. We wanted to be able to keep it very clean for you and to show you what's going on. So how this will work is this will show up in your course menu when you pull it in there. So unlike some of the other things that automatically are in your course menu, this will not be in your course menu. You will need to pull it in, and you do that like you do anything else. You go to settings, then navigation, and scroll down. And I think, and Samantha, you can correct me, I moved this down here today, but it will probably end up being more towards the bottom. So you can drag it up to the top, or you can enable it, however you choose to do that. We'll do that. And then, of course, you don't want to forget to save down here at the bottom. Always save or it didn't happen. And then you will see this populate into your course menu. And of course, your students will not see that, just you will see it as the instructor. So we're going to click on that. And you will see there's two options. You will see the midterm option and the final grade option. And it does take a minute to load. I've noticed that each time that I have done this, it does just take a couple minutes for it to load up because it is an integration. It's the third coming from the outside, right, Samantha?
That's correct, yes.
So it does just take a brief moment. So we can move it up here. This kind of builds some anticipation. You know, you're ready to enter those grades in because the semester's over. And there it is. So we have the midterm option here. If you need to enter grades in, if you're in a lower level course and you need to enter your grades in for midterms or you're just wanting to, you can do that here. And you'll see this is the grade that's actually populated for my grade book. So we'll go into the grade book really quick and you'll see here's the grade book. And these are all my grades that I have in there. And let me try to get this out of the way so we can scoot this over. There we go. And you'll see there, that's my grade, 84% for John Tarleton. He's doing pretty well. He's got an 84%. So we're going to go back. Now we can see Ducktrax here. And you will see that grade populated right there. The exact grade that I had in my grade book ended up right here. So all I have to do is go and put his grade in and hit submit. Again, it takes just a minute. It's running itself over to Banner. Since it's not just an automatic grade within Canvas. And there it is. It's submitted. And when you're finished, you just make sure and press save, just like you would in Banner. So of course, now we're at the final grade, and you can see I went ahead earlier and entered his grade in for the final. And when I did, there it is. There's the submitted grade right there for the final. And it's got any deadlines that you need to know about right here. So it's really just that simple. We only have one student in this course, but your entire roster will show up here with the current grade that is in Canvas. And then the grade, once you have it entered, all your grades will be there and submitted. And then when you hit save, they're automatically entered into the registrar, to Banner, which goes to the registrar. I know. It's almost too easy, isn't it? That's it. Isn't that right, Samantha?
That's correct. Yeah, it's that easy.
Yes, it is that easy. I'm hopeful we appreciate any feedback if you guys run into issues, especially on the 11th, but it is really that simple. I'm trying to recall the Tarleton Today instructors that have used it, not to put them on the spot, but they can actually share a real world experience. And it was wildly successful for them. They are eager to be early adopters, and I have a few other folks who have seen this as well, that they were anxious to get this option. So I hope that this will be just another pathway for instructors where this would be applicable to them.
And I want to mention too that it's not automatic. So the grade is there, but it's up to you to enter that final grade in. It's not going to transfer that grade over. It is up to you. So you still have control over that. If, you know, this was like an 89.2, it's not going to automatically transfer over B. If you wanted to round that up, you could put an A here for the final grade. That is up to you. That's your choice. If there was something, another outside entity that was affecting the grade that was in Canvas, then you would still have the ability to enter in that final grade. Is that right, Dr. Wilcoxon? Does that sound correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And how about if we need, Samantha, if we needed to do a grade change, or Dr. Wilcoxon, would that be done here, or would we need to go into Banner to do that?
If you've submitted it, and Samantha, correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding has been is if you submit it into the student information system and you've saved it, it's going to go to the roster that's in Banner, and that's going to roll to academic history. So my understanding would be at that point you would do a grades change form like we have, and we have our quality form process. So you'd submit a grade change form from there, and that, in fact, has even been more streamlined. Your department does not have to approve a grade change form anymore if the grade is going up. So if it went from a C and it should have been an A, that will just simply bypass that process, and it would go to the registrar's office for to complete processing. If it was going backwards, you put an A and it should have been a C, that will require that department head approval, just because it's going to be a negative impact, even though it was a mistake. So.
And I will show you exactly because we got to experiment with that earlier. It will tell you, oh, let's see. It has to be a capital. I discovered that earlier. Oh, that did change it. Maybe I didn't save it because it was coming up earlier that it wouldn't let me change the grade. Maybe, do you think, Samantha, it might be a time like after so long?
If the grades have run,
Okay.
then once they've been submitted as like the final grade, that's whenever they are, locked in and you have to do the grade
Okay.
change. Up until that date, I do believe you have the ability to make the changes through here as time goes on.
Okay.
Just because we do want to make it as easy as possible, but if that's something we want to stop in the future, we can talk about that
Okay.
offline.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an overnight process that runs. It's called roll, and it rolls the grade over.
Yes.
So that may also have something to do with it, Dr. Stoker, is because we have not like turned on grading just yet. That may have something to do with it as well,
But I will
since it's
tell you
April 20th.
from when we experimented earlier, it will come up and say that the grades have been finaled, and you will know when it won't let you change it because it comes up red actually and tells you cannot change this grade.
That's great
And if
when it's locked
you
in.
are ever needing a change of grade form, like if you've made a mistake for any reason, on the Office of the Registrar website, and I can provide a link in this chat if that would be helpful, Dr. Stoker.
Mhm.
But through the Office of the Registrar, the form is on our website, and it should be a pretty seamless process allowing you to change that grade. And it's also available through Ducktrax.
So this is not available yet, but what if I wanted to use this spring semester to enter in my final grades?
Honestly, we just need to, whenever we're ready to have it to be available to everyone, I would be happy to put it onto their course menus. Hidden from their course menu through where they have to go through and do the settings and the navigation. But it is ready to go.
Would you want them to do any kind of communication to your office or to your team, Samantha, or what would be the best protocol
Um,
since it's
I
through Canvas?
I'm thinking that we, let it be out in the wild and let people try it out if they want to. Because I do think it is extremely, extremely easy to do, and we have support. Isaac and myself will be available for contact if there are any issues, and then we will go from there.
Any questions from anyone on either campus? So we can probably let you know when that will roll out. when it's available. As we get close to the end of the semester, people may start entering their grades in as soon as maybe even the end of next week. So since the
Yeah.
semester's over next or the 30th, is that Wednesday? Thursday? Thursday?
Yes, we will send out communication on when grading will be open. And so what I can do is coordinate that effort with Samantha and share that this pathway is available. And if we need to include instructions or anything of that nature, we can do that and make that as seamless and as straightforward as possible.
I'm excited. So who's going to enter their grades in Canvas? Anybody? We can't see you in Fort Worth or Stephenville, so we have 2 people here in Fort Worth that are going to do it.
Hey, I'll take it.
I mean, I hope all of you enter your grades. That's a requirement.
Oh, yes. I
So
should.
I'll
Who's
plug
going to
that
enter their
shamelessly.
grades
Enter your
via
grades.
Canvas?
Enter your grades, please. As I said, that impacts everything we do
Yes.
afterwards, from awarding a degree, releasing a transcript, going through an academic suspension process. Everything is tied to that grade. Also, it's part of our jobs as faculty, right? Like we have to show that we properly assess a student. And so I appreciate you in advance. And so does Charlotte Self, my associate registrar, and Angela Patton, my coordinator.
And did you say, just to repeat, a K grade would have to go back and be entered in on Banner, right? Not through Canvas. Because if you put a K grade in and you save and submit, that's going to roll those grades over. So you would not be able to go back into your Canvas course on a K grade.
Correct.
Does that sound correct? Okay.
Yes.
So this is first run through, get your grades in. You can do it right there in Canvas. Any adjustments after the fact still need to be done in Banner. Okay.
Correct.
Anybody have any questions for us? If not, it's that simple, that easy. Yes. I think people will be excited for it. Anything in Stephenville?
I think
More
y'all did a
comments?
great job of making it nice and simple and easy. I mean, you couldn't get much simpler or easier than that. So, good job. Yeah.
It was Samantha. I had the question and she provided everything I needed. So a huge shout out to Samantha for the configuration piece of this and for providing the documentation. And we genuinely appreciate any feedback you have. I know there's been horror stories with Ducktrax, and so this is just another pathway to make this easier for y'all. So please reach out. And also, I mean, if you're having any issues at all, reach out to me directly. I say it publicly. I'm psycho with my email. I'm very on top of my inbox. So if you're running into problems on end of term, reach out to me. It's just E. Wilcoxon. Happy to help in any way I can.
And I'm here as well. Happy to help on, well, the Canvas side at least. I don't know. I can't do much on the Banner side.
Yeah, this is kind of a unique blend of all of our departments. So all of us working together, of course, will be available at the CE also to help out. Right, that's all we have, I think. Nobody has any questions. Maybe that was too easy.
No.
What took us so long, right?
Nice to have some.
Yes, it is.
Wish I could answer that. I don't know.
Well,
I got here as quick as I could in terms of that part of this
I
process.
know. Well,
so.
you don't know what you don't know. We didn't know we could even have it. So,
Yeah.
it's
I think
good to
we
have
just acquired it too. Like in the was it last year?
Yeah, so we had to switch to a different provisioning system. And this is the boring technology part, but it's how all the classes are put into Canvas from Banner. Since we had a different connection, now we can go both ways. And so that's where we have the ability to do it now. Previously, it would not been possible. So I'm happy that upgrade was put into place.
Yeah. And we wanted to be thoughtful. So having a slower pilot allowed us to work out any potential issues as we expanded this to a larger group. And I'm very pleased to say that it was minimal, if anything at all, from that group. So we're very excited.
So we got there as quick as we could.
Mhm. Only added benefits. There's no takeaways. You can still enter it the exact same way that you always have. It's only if you want to use this, it's available.
Yeah. 2 options now. 2 options. Okay. All right. Well, that's all. We
Well,
will
thank you for having
part
me.
from here. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all so much. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Okay. Is there anyone there that got to see that? Exciting.